Hi, this is Ian Parker Moore here from International Amateur Street Photography Group and also International Amateur Face Group. I also run two learning groups called Streetwise and Streetwise Advanced. What we do in those groups is that we set assignments, and then the members will go out and take photographs for those assignments and then come back and we discuss them. We try and give them tips on how to improve. So one of the things that we are finding in these groups is that they seem to come back sometimes with blurry images. So I thought I'd do a quick video on tips to actually help you to improve your sharpness of the photographs. So one of the first things to do is to, though it sounds quite obvious, is to make sure that your lens is clean. So make sure you've got no fingerprints on your lens at all, because this would actually affect your sharpness. Number two is the stance that you use. Now, I've been photographing now for many years, and one of the things I've noticed is that with some people is that they don't hold the camera right, and what I've seen is that people have their elbows out like so or like so, and this actually makes them unsteady. So the way to actually use your stance is to actually hold your elbows in and to place one hand under the lens and to shoot like so. This will actually keep you quite steady, and if you can, is to actually find something to lean on, which will actually make you even more steady and secure. So the next thing is people have tended to use the wrong shutter speed. So the rule of thumb basically is to actually use a setting that is at least as much as the lens that you are using. So what that means, if that you are using a 50mm lens, then your shutter speed should be 1/50th at least minimum. However, this is really only good if you are shooting something that is static. But if you've got something moving, like a person walking towards you, then you'll find that this isn't fast enough. So what I found most useful is to actually use a shutter speed of about 1/500th, and that seems to suit the way that I photograph. So my general lens, my go-to lens, is a 24-105. And I use 1/500th of a second for that, and my aperture is probably about 5.6 or something, 5 or 6 to f8, and this I find keeps everything in focus. So the next thing to think about is the aperture. So when you're actually taking a photograph, you need to decide what you are taking a photograph of. So if it is a person and you shoot at 2.8, what you'll find is that's probably okay if the person is actually quite in front of you. However, if you want to take more than one person, or you want to include the scene, then 2.8 is not going to be good enough. You're going to need to shoot about 5.6 f8, something like that. And then you'll find the person will be in focus, and some of the background as well. It is usually accepted that prime lenses are sharper than zoom lenses, but having a prime lens isn't always convenient, and people like to have zoom so they don't have to move their feet. But that's something just to keep in mind. Camera shake. Camera shake can affect your images. So if you find that you're not very steady holding a camera, then as you take the picture, the camera will shake a little bit, and you can tell that this has happened when you have a look at the picture and none of the picture is actually in focus. This boils down to, again, the shutter speed that you are using. So that's just something to keep in mind. I also find that distance can have an effect on sharpness. So if you're shooting a person in the distance, sometimes what happens is that your camera can't find anything to focus on, because the person is too far in the distance, and it can't sort of find a line or definition of the face or something. So therefore it has difficulty in focusing on it. I've also found in my time that if your ISO is too high, this can sometimes make your image seem a little bit blurred. You can do something in Lightroom to actually change that a little bit, but if you can actually get that correct in the first place, then you won't need to change it in Lightroom. Also, I find that too much editing can actually make your image seem a bit blurred or not as sharp. So when you're actually using your editing programs, etc., try to avoid changing your settings too much. So something like luminance, etc. If you actually increase that all the way to the right, then you'll find that your images are not quite as sharp. So try and keep that as low as possible. Also, you will find that each lens has what we call a sweet spot. So if your lens is, for instance, a 5.6, then your sweet spot will usually be 2 stops down. So something like f8 or f11 is going to be your sharpest setting for that lens. If you've got a 2.8, then something like a 5.6 or f8 is going to be your sharpest point. And then also, if you are shooting in manual, then you need to make sure that your diopter, which is this sort of little wheel here, is actually set for your vision, your particular vision. If you change that a bit till what you see through the viewfinder is at its sharpest, then you'll find that this will help. So that's all I've got for now. If you think of anything else that would actually help people to keep their images sharp, then please make comments underneath. So I hope that you found this interesting, and I'll speak to you soon. Thanks very much.